EVs and affordable haven't always gone hand in hand. That was until the Kia EV5. So right behind me is Kia's latest electric vehicle. Latest, it's not exactly out yet, and we don't exactly have all the specs and functions because this is a pre-production model. However, we're still going to give you a full in-depth walkthrough of what we do know and what we see. So starting off with the front end, this vehicle is showcased in a brand new color called Frost Blue. It's one of two brand new colors we haven't seen on any of our cars before, and I think it looks stunning. But let's talk about the facts. On the front end, we have a beautiful flush Kia emblem in our signature kind of brushed aluminum finish. I think it looks fantastic, but it only gets better from there. Lots of gloss black elements you'll find on the Kia EV5, encasing our beautiful digital Tiger face grille. So on our digital Tiger face grille, we now have a new look for our headlamps. You'll see it takes a different approach to the styling of the EV9, yet it still looks like a miniature EV9. So if you love the EV9, you're gonna love this. It's got a better price point. So full LEDs there, beautiful, beautiful lighting system. Of course, we can't turn on the full headlight system on today just because this is in our vehicle. So I'm curious to see if we get some beautiful amber daytime running lights and what exactly those will look like in person. However, back to the facts. Forward parking sensors and even a forward-facing camera, giving you a full 360 camera view when you are parking this vehicle. Super handy, especially if this is a larger vehicle for you. More gloss black elements and some beautiful fins and air channeling. So lots of aerodynamic elements on this vehicle. Now, range, of course, isn't exactly disclosed yet because this vehicle is, again, still in pre-production. However, we do know that there's going to be two battery options. So we get a 60.3 being our lower front-wheel drive vehicle, and also an 81.4 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion polymer battery. This vehicle will have a front-wheel drive configuration and an all-wheel drive configuration, making it perfect for Canadian weather and our Canadian buyers. Now, in terms of wheels, there's going to be three different options. We get 18s, 19s, and 20 inches for your alloys. And I will say, based off what we've seen, very similar in terms of styling to the EV9's wheels. So it's a little bit different than your traditional alloy. However, there is a function behind this design. Vehicles with wheels like this, Aeroblade style alloys, are going to give you better airflow. So reducing drag, channeling airflow. Lots of important components when it comes to aerodynamics, giving you the best range for your buck with this EV. Another thing you'll notice, we have a little bit of a different location for our charge door. Not sure if it'll even open because it is, again, pre-production, but it won't open. But let me tell you what's behind there. It's your charge point, of course, but it's a North American charging standard. So it's similar to what you guys will call, not similar, it is what everyone calls the Tesla style adapter. It's just gonna open a lot more opportunities for charging here in North America, which we love to see. Another thing I'll point out, it's two-tone, so it makes a body color and a little bit of that beautiful gloss black. When it comes to your wheel arches, you'll see they're very squared off, but they're still smooth in style, so this vehicle doesn't look like a box on wheels. It still has some beautiful, sleek body lines to it. For your mirrors, you get body color, turn signal indicator, and even a blind view monitor. Your door handles are going to be our pop-out style door handles. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to pop out automatically on all trim levels, but we can definitely expect it on our top trim. You do also get digital key to touch with this vehicle, so the ability to unlock, start, and drive your vehicle from your phone. You also get Kia Connect 2, and I'd imagine it's standard, but if not, it'll certainly be available. When you do have an EV vehicle and Kia Connect, it opens a whole new world of opportunities. So checking your charging time, setting your charging time, climate controls, everything, even location services so you know exactly where your car is. I personally love it and really vouch for it. All right, another fun thing about door handles on EVs, they pop out and retract back in to give you better air channeling. So just like your wheels, this vehicle is all about the aerodynamics, baby. Back to the body. So for our pillars, a little bit of gloss black, kind of giving that floating roof style that we've seen on the EV9 and even the Kia Soul of the past. I love it, I think it looks fantastic. And the gloss black really breaks up some of the more light elements, so you'll get a beautiful contrast. Now, I told one of our head of marketing teams here that I absolutely love this. Let me get unprofessional for a second and say what an amazing design choice. I think it looks so, so good. Definitely gives this vehicle a little bit more flair. This, again, body color, fantastic for this vehicle. It's funky, it's fun, and it's fresh, and it's brand new. Your taillights are where things get a little bit K4 meets EV9, so it's truly a blend of both of those vehicles combined. So you'll see beautiful LEDs that expand inwards towards your hatch. EV5 badging on the left-hand side with some nice flat flush Kia badging in the center. You'll notice our rear view camera integrated into the black portion of your tail lamps. And then towards the bottom, we have some rear mounted parking sensors, a little bit more light finishes just to break things up, make it nice and even. provided, oh, it's on, you guys. This is my lucky day. We'll open it up. Power liftgate is available on this vehicle. Height adjustable, of course, and proximity based, so you can actually turn that function on, making every time you walk up to the rear end of your vehicle, you'll have your vehicle automatically open it for you. Now, here's where things get really exciting. I don't have the exact dimensions because I forgot my tape measure at home, but you can see there is a ton of usable cargo space here and a very accessible height to putting your items in. It's completely flat too, so when you go to knock down those rear seats, you get a completely flat surface to work with, making this vehicle very, very capable. I don't exactly have the release over here, so I can't knock them down for you guys, but you'll have to trust me on that. It looks like we also have the capability to include things like a cargo cover as well. No word on if that'll be standard equipment on the higher trim levels available in Canada. I guess you guys will just have to wait, subscribe to our channel, and find out when we find out. Underneath the floorboard, we do have our level 1 charger. The level 1 charger is of course super handy and complementary with the vehicle. It is small enough that you can take it with you on your travels, so if you're going away for a long weekend, it's not exactly the quickest way to charge, but it'll certainly get you where you need to be, and it doesn't take any sort of special wiring. Now, another thing I'll point out, this vehicle is based off our 400 volt platform. So while it is still an eGMP, it's going to be the first vehicle in our lineup on the eGMP platform that utilizes only 400 volt charging. What does that mean for you guys? Well, you don't exactly have the fastest charging speeds compared to something like the EV6, but it's still extremely quick and capable, and thanks to its new charge port, we get a lot more opportunities of available chargers. Another thing that makes this vehicle truly special is the fact that its size and its capability and accessibility. So the size is very similar to what we're used to on the Kia Sportage, so we're very much a mid-size vehicle. It's going to be larger than the Kia Niro, a little bit about the same size as the EV6, but a lot more headroom, so it could be a lot more comfortable depending on what your height and driving and living situation's like. Another thing is the fact that because it's a 400 volt infrastructure vehicle, it's going to be more affordable. The price point has not been released, but again, you guys, just another reason to subscribe. Now let's take a look inside.
Now, I think the exterior of this vehicle looks great. Let's see what the interior looks like and what some of our tech and comfort features are going to look like. Disclaimer again, of course, this is going to be a pre-production model. It's also an international model, so not everything that will be pictured, especially in this configuration, will come to what we see in the finished product here in Canada. However, let's talk about some of my favorite features, which we can guess we will be seeing. Let's start off with our driver's side door. You'll notice up at the top that our comfort features have moved. So you have your heated steering wheel, your heated seats, ventilated, and memory seats, which is very typical of what we've been seeing for Kia in some of their new vehicles. Down below, you'll notice we have electronically controlled mirrors, and this one does have power mirrors showed. I would love to see this come to Canada because it's not typically a feature that we see on a vehicle of this size. Of course, you're still going to have things like your window controls, your speaker system, and down below a convenience pocket with your bottle system. And bottle holder. It's not a system. Now, I think all of these comfort features look really good, but I gotta say, one of my favorite design elements has to be this little copper stripping here. I think it looks so good, especially with the warm tone mixed with the frost blue exterior, cool and warm tones together. It just creates a really nice blend and a great design detail. All right, let's talk about comfort. Let's talk about these seats. We can guess that they are going to be made of a synthetic leather, which is very typical of what we've been seeing for Kia. They are a black. We have a nice wide headrest too with some perforation on our insert. Now, they feel very much like what we see in the K4, which leads me to believe that these are probably going to have a little bit more padding than what we've seen previously. And if you can do it, why not? Now, these seats, as we mentioned, because they have memory seats, they're also going to be electronically controlled. Now, the nice thing is that this one actually has a little ergo motion seat button with 4-way lumbar support. So again, interesting to see a massage seat on a vehicle of this class. I'm very curious to see if that makes it into the final production model. Really hope it does. On this side, I want to point out the fact that you are going to have your lighting controls here, charge port. Also, this looks like it's going to be your tailgate release, electronic parking brake, and also your traction control. The steering wheel, it's flat on the top, flat on the bottom, and it's got little indentations here. Now, it may look a little bit odd, but that's because this 12.3-inch screen, it's going to show your speedometer, but also your power band here. And this, because we have these little outlets, it's going to make it a little bit easier to see than a typical round wheel, which we have seen in other vehicles. On here, you'll also see a split between our driving controls and our media controls, and we actually do have a centered Kia logo in this vehicle. Directly below that, you're going to have your integrated drive mode select, and again, I like that it's on the steering wheel and that we have a little bit of extra spoking. Behind the steering wheel, we have our paddle shifters, which can be used, of course, to adjust your regenerative braking, to increase it, decrease it, and then also to engage things like iPedal or your one-pedal driving. And then, of course, we're still going to have our lighting stock and our wiper stock, and I already mentioned that we can be seeing a 12.3-inch screen as our instrument cluster. I'll have Gabby come around, and we'll keep talking about what we've got. Okay guys, I don't want you to pay too much attention to what we have going on in this center area because things are going to change. What we can still be expecting to see is things like cup holders, wireless phone charger, of course the option for connectivity and charging with USB-Cs and a 12 volt. So that's all pretty standard of what we've seen with Kia recently, but I do want to show you guys our screen up here and the fact that's also on. So another 12.25-inch screen, and directly next to that is going to be this 5-inch screen here, which will be dedicated for climate. Now, if you don't like that for your climate, you still have buttons, you still have your controls, and there is going to be a quick fire way to access your climate to show on this screen. And don't worry, we've already shown it. We'll even show it for you once we get this vehicle for real. Okay, so new CC&C software, that's going to mean that we're going to see things standard like over-the-air updates, but also Kia's telematics system like Kia Connect, which personally I really love. It's that opportunity to precondition the cabin, lock and unlock your vehicle, all that good stuff, all from the comfort of your phone. You'll also notice this is going to be very similar to what we see in the EV9, but also in the K4 with our buttons, which do provide a little bit of haptic feedback. We have some venting, and then also you can quickly adjust the fan speed, temperature, fan direction, all of that good stuff. And then down below, like I said, USB-Cs and also a 12 volt. Seats are incredibly comfortable. I love the amount of headroom in this vehicle. We also have a sunroof. Vehicle's not really on or in accessory mode, so I don't know why I tried to do that, but hey, shoot your shot, right? No, but I think it's time that we take a look at the second row. All right, so just like the Kia Sportage, we have a great amount of space back here. I have decent headroom, especially with the fact that we have a sunroof included. I have great legroom, but it doesn't stop there because something that this Sportage has that this doesn't is the fact that we have a completely flat floor. So if you're sitting in this middle seat, you have the same depth of legroom as your buddies who are sitting right here, which is absolutely fantastic. And that's because this vehicle is built on Kia and Hyundai's eGMP platform. And this vehicle also does sustain 400 volt charging, which is going to help just with overall accessibility, just for the everyday EV buyer, especially for a vehicle of this size. I think it truly is impressive. I love some of the amenities that we have back here. I like the fact that these headrests double as a coat rack or a bag holder. We have integrated USB-Cs into the seat. We have pockets for privacy, and we have pillar-mounted vents, which is going to help with that climate control back here as well. In the center, I will point out the fact that we have a drop-down armrest with cup holders integrated. So again, very standard and similar to what we see on the Sportage. If you're wondering about how comfortable these seats are, they still have a great amount of padding to them. They feel butter soft, and I cannot wait for this to really come to Canada. As far as arrival times, we are expecting to see this vehicle in early 2026. So that sounds like it should be available at dealerships in the first quarter. But if you guys want to know more about that, make sure that you subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel, because we are going to be the first channel to let you know everything on pricing, trims, and included timelines. So if you haven't subscribed, do that now. Hit the bell, like this video, and comment down below on what you think of the new Kia EV5. Tray table, but we ain't getting that. Plain.